In a world where machines are replacing minds and data decides your destiny, what happens when humanity goes 404? Human not found.
I'm Christopher Uchenwa, best-selling author of AI versus Humanity, The Battle for Human Relevance. And this is your wake-up call. This isn't just another AI podcast.
This is the movement for those who refuse to be replaced. How to stay relevant in the age of AI? The human skills AI can't replace. Spiritual and ethical leadership. Real stories. Real tools. Real talk. Subscribe to the AI versus Humanity 404 podcast. New episodes drop every Sunday starting August 10th. Send us your voice notes. Be part of the revolution. When the system says 404, human not found, we rewrite the code and don't miss out.
Hello, my friends and family. Welcome to another episode of AI versus Humanity 404 podcast. Today is episode 3, and I'm going to be talking about what AI can do better than humans and what humans can do better than AI. And I'm your host, Christopher Uchenwa, best-selling author of AI versus Humanity, The Battle for Human Relevance. I'm also a keynote speaker. I'm the founder and CEO of BreezeWave Incorporated. I'm going to delve right now into today's episode topic, which I captioned what artificial intelligence can do that humans cannot do, and what humans can do that artificial intelligence cannot do. You will find this particular topic in chapter 5 of my book. If you go to my book, if you bought this book, this is the best-selling book right now on Amazon. It became Amazon #1 bestseller in 48 hours of its release. I launched it in July 5th and is selling widely. So you'll find this topic I want to talk about today in this episode 3. You'll find it in chapter 5. And the title of that chapter 5 is AI versus Humanity. Can we coexist? This is one of the most important topics that if you understand this topic, this chapter 5 of my book, you will become a superhuman. You will become a superhuman. Because we cannot compete with artificial intelligence. We can't. It's not possible. And I'm going to show you. We cannot compete with artificial intelligence. And there are things we can do that artificial intelligence cannot do. But we need to understand what are those things that we have as humans that artificial intelligence doesn't have. So when we bring what artificial intelligence can do and we merge it with what we can do as human, we become what is called superhuman. We become a supernatural being functioning in this sphere, in this space of time, space, and matter continuum. So now let's begin with what artificial intelligence can do. In my book, in the chapter 5, if you go to page 67, I talked about those qualities that artificial intelligence has. For example, speed. Artificial intelligence has speed, so much speed it can process information, millions and billions of information in seconds. That is an advantage that it has. Humans can't process that in that short time. What might take humans like days and months to process, artificial intelligence can process it in seconds. If you put in this book, my book, into your large language model, be it ChatGPT, be it Gemini, be it DeepSeek, be it Grok, just upload the soft copy to it and said, read this book. It will read it in less than 1 to 2 seconds. But if you sit down as a human to read this book, it might take you like, maybe if you're a fast reader, maybe you can finish it like in maybe 5 hours or so. That is if you're a fast reader. If you're not a fast reader, it might take you some days, right? But this is something artificial intelligence would read in like 3 seconds. It will read this book. What is 3 seconds? 1 second, it will read. I'm sure it could read this book in less than a second. Because how many pages? This book is just like how many pages, right? So that is to tell you how fast artificial intelligence can process information. It has speed. It has scalability. It can scale so fast. And that is its advantage, right? It can process data, millions and billions of data at a speed that unimaginable that humans cannot. That is why you see it's going to be replacing a lot of jobs, functions, like those in the space of data analysts and data processing field. Your job is gone. I'm sorry. My wife is a lawyer. She was working for she was doing a kind of a job for a client, and she was doing. I asked her, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm doing document review." I said, "Oh, really? Document review?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, how many documents?" She said, "There are so many. Like, we're just reviewing the document based on some strict guidelines, and we make recommendations, and we code it in the system." I said, "Can I see what you're doing?" She just she said, "Well, I'm not supposed to show you what it is later, but I can tell you, okay, these are the pros." I said, "Babe, you know what? Your job is gone." She said, "What do you mean?" I said, "AI is going to do this job faster, better than what you're doing right now." She said, "Really?" I said, "Yes." I said, "You know what I'm going to do for you? I'm going to build a co-pilot for you." What that means is that I'm going to build a co-pilot that will follow the steps and procedures of what you are doing right now as human, right? When you put the data, the document in the co-pilot, it will review it and analyze it and give you the result you want faster in seconds. What you're reviewing now, maybe 100 document could take you like days or months, but it will do those 100 documents in like 5 seconds. She said, "Oh my God." I said, "Yes. So consider this job gone." And I'm not joking. It's the truth. This is not doom. I'm not trying to tell you, maybe create fear in your mind. There are jobs that are going to go. If you are a programmer, you write codes and all those things, you have to think of how you're going to reinvent yourself. Artificial intelligence right now, I don't need to be a programmer or a coder or a software engineer to write codes of what I want. There is something called vibe coding. Vibe coding is your ability, once you can speak English or speak any language that the large language model understands, it will create a code for you. I can just come in and sit down with for example, even ChatGPT. I can just say, "ChatGPT, I want to build a game. I want to build a game that looks like this. And we'll be able, this is the objective of the game. This is these are the different areas of excitement and stuff. Write me a code that can build this game for me." It will write it for me in Python or any language I want. And I can deploy it. That is the world we've come to right now. You don't need to. So if you find yourself in that space, you have to start thinking, how do I reinvent myself? How do I rescale? Because this machine is going to take over that job from you. Right now, the people who are building all these things, even Google, they have what is called agentic AI. Agentic AI are AI that could prompt themselves. AI A could prompt AI B. AI A could create a code, right? Agentic AI B could review the code created by AI A. Now, another AI C could deploy the codes when there is no error. Another AI C could do the testing of the code, of the feature, the deployment. That is, you have a collection of AI agents working together hand in hand to get the end result from start to finish. And they are deploying this everywhere in companies right now. You have agentic AI, where you have AI that will handle human resource department, AI that integrates with the finance department. That is my space. I implement ERP systems for companies and clients, right? So ERP systems are enterprise resource planning applications that has been brought together to coordinate the activities of different departments in the company. Like human resource is integrated with finance, finance integrated with sales and marketing integrated with the compliance. Everything is all integrated. You do transactions once, and every department could see that transaction, use the transaction, or do what. Agentic AI are being deployed right now to be able to do those functions that humans are doing in each of those departments. Where you have like 10 people in a particular department, you might have just one, because AI is going to do like all those activities. In the human resource, for example, AI could hire an employee, onboard the employee, and assign tasks to the employee. And once the agentic human resource AI is done, it moves it to the finance department that will carry out whatever function it wants to carry out, then moves it to what a sales and department or whatever. They can communicate amongst themselves. You might just have one person in each of those departments who will play the role of humans in the loop, just supervising what the AI is doing. That is what is going on now. The agentic AI is a very powerful AI collaboration, right? So now, if you find your space you see whatever you're doing is falling under each of these areas that I'm mentioning, that these are AI skills, you have to be mindful, because AI is going to do it like pattern recognition, right? When it comes to pattern recognition, AI would do that better. In the hospitals right now, AI is diagnosing illnesses or diseases that doctors who have been doing this job for over 20, 30 years are not able to diagnose. The things they miss, AI will come and analyze the patterns, and they will tell you, they will diagnose it. Right now, they are diagnosing cancer cells. Right now, they are sequencing DNA. Right now, AI is interpreting results better than doctors who have been studying for all their life. So pattern recognition, AI will do that job better. Consistency, whatever you want to think about. So those are the qualities that artificial intelligence can do better than humans. We can't compete in that space. It's not possible. You cannot compete with artificial intelligence in that space. They are faster, they are more robust, they are more consistent, and sometimes even more accurate in giving you the results you want. But I have a good news for you. The good news is this: there are human skills that we have as humans that AI does not have. Now, what are those skills? Because those are the skills that we need to capitalize upon so that we can collaborate with artificial intelligence and become a superhuman. Now, here are the skills. Empathy. AI doesn't have empathy and will never have it. Human empathy, AI can never have it. Why am I saying this? I'm opportune to have one of the skills. It's not a skill. Maybe it's a gift. I just have it. I'm an empath. I walked into an environment sometime, and I started picking very strong emotions. And that emotions I was picking was a very sad emotions. I felt like crying. And all of a sudden, tears start dropping down my eyes. This is real story I'm giving you right now. Tears start dropping out of my eyes. I start feeling so emotionally down. And I was wondering, come on, what's going on? What's happening here? What's happening to me? I said, okay, let me step out of that, because there are a lot of crowd inside that environment, I went to watch sports, I said, let me step out of this environment. Let me go, I took my kids to go play basketball, watch games and stuff. There was a tournament. I said, let me step out and catch some fresh air. As I was stepping out, I saw some people, family or something like that, by the door, and they were walking out as well. So they were crying. I mean, all of them were like in that group, they were crying. So they walked to the car park. I was curious. I went to them. I said, what's going on? Why are you all crying? And they said to me that they just got news that they lost someone in the family, their dad or something. I said, oh, it's a pity. I walked away. At that point, I knew, oh, this was what I was picking. I was picking their emotion. And there are a lot of people like that. There are empaths. People are empaths. This gift is just there. I just have it. And I really don't like it. I don't like it in the sense, why should I enter an environment and I'm picking emotions that I know nothing about, and I'm feeling it like I'm the one it happens to. This has happened to me not once, not twice, a lot of times. I pick emotions. I pick energy. So empaths. And you will see people who, humans apply this empathy in their job roles. Like you go to therapist. ChatGPT 4.0 will give you good therapy, like I said then. If you chat with ChatGPT 4.0, it will give you good therapy, like you're speaking to a therapist. But it's speaking without empathy. It's speaking based on the books that it has been trained on therapy. But when you go to meet a human therapist, he will sit you down, or he or she will sit you down. And when you are talking with them, they will be able to put themselves in your position. You'll be able to feel that empathy, that human connection. The same thing when you go to hospital. In as much as AI could diagnose illnesses and diseases faster, something is missing. The human empathy, the human connection. That is another skill that humans have. Human connection. Like at the beginning, I told you guys how Nike was trying to hire Steph Curry. There was no human connection. Another company saw an opportunity to utilize that human connectivity, and they were able to get him in on board. And today, that company is more than over $1 billion companies, and they are making a lot of money. Everybody is winning together, both Steph Curry and the company, right? This was a company that was nowhere before. So that empathy, that human connection, that is what makes us human. Right? Now, there is another area we have as human. It's called intuition. Human intuition. Intuitive knowledge and imagination, they go almost together. Intuitive knowledge is a knowledge that comes not out of data analysis. Because AI could analyze things based on the data it has. But when it comes to making that decision, there are some other aspects that AI may not be able to put together to make the right decision. Like that intuitive part. Those who are like entrepreneurs will understand what I'm saying. When an entrepreneur wants to make a decision, in as much as he has all the data before him, all the analysis has been done, he has it before him, there is something else the entrepreneur checks. He checks what is called gut feeling. the gut feeling. That gut feeling comes from intuition. Because the data could be saying everything, check, 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 okay, 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 okay. But there is an aspect of that particular decision he wants to make that is not captured in the data. But it's only the higher self, the spirit self, that knows that information, that sees into the future, and could tell him that this may not be a good decision in the long run. And he will follow his gut feeling. Any entrepreneur that follows his or her gut feeling never gets it wrong. And he will turn down that transaction or turn down that deal. It could be that, okay, he's going to invest in a country and everything looks so good. He looks at the projection, 5-year projection. We are going to make so much billions in 5 years, right? The projection looks good. And everything check, 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 check. And he's about to make that decision. And his gut feeling, his intuition is telling him, no, there's a red flag. An entrepreneur knows it. You feel the way intuition is connected to the human body and feelings is that you feel something around your stomach. I feel it too. You feel it around your stomach. It's around the abdomen side. You feel there's some kind of feeling you feel that you know that, oh, there's something wrong. And another way you can know from intuition is when your spirit does not have peace, or you think about it, you don't have peace in your mind. It's a skill. It's a gift. Now, it could be that the moment he signs that deal, they invest money. After 1 year, a new government might just come in and, cancel the whole deal, and they lose their money, or they got stuck, or something like that, which that wasn't taken into consideration. He didn't see that. All the analysis he did, SWOT analysis, Porter 5 forces, and everything was saying check, 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 right? That is a human skill that AI doesn't have. AI will never have it. No matter how they built AI to be intelligent, it can never have it, that intuition, that human feeling. It can't have it. It's only humans that have it. And that is tied to our spirituality, our soul. As humans, we have soul. We have the spiritual aspect of us that connects us to our Creator, the one source, God Almighty. AI will never have it, no matter how they try to build AI to become super intelligent. It can be more intelligent, surpass human in terms of intelligence, but it can't have that human soul. It can't have the connectivity. It can't have that spirituality, that thing that makes us gods. Because the truth is this, that we as humans, we are gods here on earth. We were created by a creator, God Almighty, creating us in his image as well. So we are God. So we create the way he creates. So if you want to understand how God creates, look at the life of an entrepreneur. That is how God creates. The life of an entrepreneur follows the processes of creation, of how God creates things. And how does God create things? God creates things following these steps. 1, imagination, thought. Imagination is the first step. And entrepreneurs, before they create anything, whatever you see that has been created, even the phone, the tablets, and everything, it begins with imagination. That is thought. So whatever you imagine is real. Albert Einstein said, imagination is more powerful than knowledge. He went further to say that imagination is real. It is the evidence of things yet to come, the evidence of things not seen. Imagination, whatever you imagine, is already existing at a realm or dimension you can't see, but your mind can tap into that realm. So, and if you continue in the next phase I'm going to mention, you are going to bet that thing into reality. That is how entrepreneurs function. They begin with imagination, an idea that drops into their mind. And here is it. When an idea drops into your mind, that idea is not only you that picked that idea. That is why you might find out that when an idea dropped in your mind and you don't act on it, the next day you might see some other person building or doing that thing. And you say, oh, I thought about this. The reason why that other person was able to build it, both of you at that point in time were vibrating at the same frequency. Just like a radio station, if you tune to a right frequency, you will be getting a kind of news or information in that frequency. That is how the human mind is. So if you are at a frequency vibe, your mind, your thought is at a frequency, and another person's thought is at the same frequency, both of you will receive the same communication, information, will drop it. So if you don't act, the other person may act on it. And you say, oh, I thought about this. This was my idea. It's not your idea. The idea came from infinite intelligence. So, but you didn't act on it until you bet it into reality. It's not your idea. So that is the power of imagination. And that is how God's created. That is the first step, imagination. Because even for those who are very religious, who even believe in the Holy Book, says, in the beginning, how God started creating. In his beginning, the Spirit of God was hovering upon the face of the deep. What does that mean? The Spirit of God was hovering upon the face of the waters. What was he doing? He was imagining things, what he wants to create. That was what he was doing. And that is how entrepreneurs create. Then after that, the next phase is feelings. Because when you imagine things, you begin to feel the outcome of that thing you want to create, how good it is. You begin to feel it. You begin to have that feeling. And when you begin to have feeling about that thing you want to create or you've imagined or you've seen in your mind, your body will begin to pick the sensation of how good it's going to be. That's the next phase. And you begin to, the third phase is you begin to speak it into reality. That is, you begin to speak it into reality. That is how God spoke the creation into reality. Right? Now, after speaking it into reality, because when you speak, your word is energy. Your word creates. The word you speak creates things. Then you move to the final phase of creation, which is action. You have to take action. Action is you going into doing the work itself. That is how entrepreneurs function. Go and check all the people that are creating things. They don't miss any of these four phases. Thinking, thought. Thought is real. Imagination is real. Feelings is real. Your feeling is very real. Your words you speak is real. The actions you take is what bet whatever you've imagined into reality. That is a skill set, right? Emotional intelligence is another skill set that humans have. Artificial intelligence doesn't have it. So that being said, when we bring these qualities that humans have and the quality that artificial intelligence have, when we bring them together, what does that create? It creates a supernatural intelligence, a superhuman. Right? But when you keep them apart, you will have AI functioning as a super artificial intelligence. You will have human functioning as a supernatural being, right? But when you bring them together, you create a superhuman, supernatural being that is functioning with the best result. So that is the collaboration I'm talking about. Humans are meant to collaborate with artificial intelligence to become the best out of what we do. So that being said, that brings us to the end of episode 3, which is what artificial intelligence can do that humans cannot do, and what humans can do and artificial intelligence cannot do. If you enjoyed this particular episode, feel free to send us a voice note, 60 seconds voice note, to our number. I'm going to share a WhatsApp number for you to send us, +1 289 505 5287. Send it to that WhatsApp number. Our team, we are going to review it. We're going to look at it, and if it fits into our program, we are going to, it's a two-way conversation. We're going to announce it in our next session, and we're going to acknowledge you as well. You can also send it to our email, info@ai-versus-humanity.ca. And if you are also an expert and you're into creativity as well, expert in AI, or you're into creativity, like last week we had a section with, we had a group interview section where we hosted Hyper C is a musician, and he's about to release one of his latest track. He called The Weed. It's coming up. Then we had this oil and gas model. He's called Oil Money. I mean, a great guy who has been helping and supporting creativity and people, artists as well. They were in the studio. We did the recording. I'm going to be releasing it very soon as well, so that you can go and listen. So if you want to be if you want to be invited to my podcast, feel free to send us a mail at info@ai-versus-humanity.ca. Send us an email or send us a WhatsApp message at +1 289 505 5287. We are going to get back to you, and we'll see how we collaborate, and we'll know the episode to invite you in for it, like, right? So and if you're also a business person and you're looking to implement AI and you don't know how to go about it, you can also reach out to us on my website, breezewave.com, BRIZWAVE.com, for us to, work with you, help you to understand how you can implement artificial intelligence, because there are a lot of them out there. What we do, we have a 6-step AI implementation strategy. You can download a free copy on our website homepage so that you see how we progress. We come in to assess what your current technology stack, and we'll give you the best recommendation on how you can go implementing AI. If it is your current workflows and current processes, business processes that you want to upgrade, we'll help create a more better futuristic future state for you, where we can tell you where you have to integrate artificial intelligence at different points of your business process workflow, and you can get the best. So feel free to consult us. That is what I do. I am always in the field working with my client, implementing and integrating the best systems, artificial intelligence for them. Yeah, that is what we do. Feel free to reach out to us, or you can shoot us an email at info@breezewave.com, and I and my team will take a look at it and we'll get back to you, or visit our website as well, breezewave.com. That brings us to the end of today's episode. And because we're in the age of artificial intelligence, being human is your greatest advantage. And you have to be ready to reskill and upskill and be flexible enough. Otherwise, you're going to be replaced. And part of what my podcast, AI versus Humanity 404 podcast, is to help humanity transition through this phase so that we can remain relevant. And that is what part of my book is talking about, AI versus Humanity, the battle for human relevance. Go to Amazon. You can grab a copy of my book. Read it. It's a book that is meant to serve humanity and help humanity transition through this phase of artificial intelligence. Thank you once again, and thank you for listening, and see you in the next episode next week.
In a world driven by artificial intelligence, where speed is prized over soul, and machines are learning faster than humans are evolving, What happens when the system no longer recognizes you? When the screen says 404, human, not found. I'm Christopher Uchenwa, best-selling author of AI versus Humanity, The Battle for Human Relevance. And this podcast is your wake-up call. We're not just talking AI, we're fighting for our place in the age of machines. Every week, I'll break down what AI means for your job, your family, your identity, and your future. From ethics to intuition, from survival to spiritual awakening. Real stories, real tools, real truth. Because while others are being replaced, we're getting repositioned. And while the world panics, we'll evolve.
Subscribe now to the AI vs. Humanity 404 podcast. New episodes drop every Sunday starting August 10. Send us your voice feedback on WhatsApp, +1 289 505 5287. Want to be a guest? Reach out. info@aiversushumanity.ca. When the world says 404, human, not found, we rewrite the code.